Yeah, my me. All right, joining us now is Craig Post, Chief Executive Officer of Adtelligent, and he's here to talk about the untapped potential in the Latin American market for global enterprises, especially small business owners. It's a discussion that could open up new horizons, I'm told. Morning, sir. Welcome to Smile. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm feeling great this morning.
Yeah, man. Fantastic. Tell me quickly about Adtelligent.
Well, Adtelligent is a digital marketing company based here in Jamaica who operates in the Caribbean. So basically, our main business was originally doing services for companies like Grace, for JDIC, BOJ, and then recently we actually expanded ourselves into Latin America, partnering with an agency over in Peru, and we've been selling over there to their government, selling to Colombia, selling to Panama, and I'm thinking myself, like, we should also be doing this for other small companies and other medium businesses in Jamaica.
Yeah. When I saw Latin America, I said, why do they keep saying Latin America? Because that's like South and Central America. I'm not certain where the Latin America part come in, but we're talking about South and Central America, and maybe even some Caribbean.
DR.
Yeah, islands also. So how can this work for, let's start here. Let's start here. How can this work for Jamaica here?
Well, so, I mean, we're having a conference coming up on September 7th to explain everything to people on how this works. Because in reality, Jamaica actually has 4 trade agreements through CARICOM with free trade agreements, actually, with the DR, with Costa Rica, with Colombia, and with Cuba. That allows us to export a lot of goods and services tax-free. And the truth is, the DR is using that amazingly with us. So they're exporting $111 million to us, while we're doing about $2 million US back to them. So, you know, their businesses, their small businesses, they're getting excited and realizing, hey, Jamaica's next door to us. I mean, I love Angie a lot, and she's said to their people in one of her videos that Jamaicans, they love to consume, they're our next door neighbor, we can ship stuff over to them, but we're not necessarily thinking in the same way to say, hey, how do we get stuff over to those guys? And it's now our time to really participate in that market.
Which is the reason. I made a note because you said now is a unique opportunity for Jamaican business to explore and tap into the potential of Latin American markets. Why is now a good time?
So a big barrier to people before was Spanish, right? Right now, because of AI, it's the first time ever that all Spanish documents are actually accessible to us in English. It can be automatically translated. And also, thanks to social media, you can directly market to any sort of B2C customer. That's like if you're selling a skincare product, you can market directly to the people who like that stuff. Or if you're me, you could just go on LinkedIn and find somebody who's a marketing manager and send them a direct message. And you can send it in Spanish, you can send it in English. I mean, I'm WhatsApping people all across the world in Spanish, and sometimes they're speaking back in English and they're using translators. So that barrier actually has been reduced. Plus, right now, about 30% of the people in DR actually speak English. I mean, they're all watching Netflix just like us, right? So they're getting the same sort of global consumerism.
What do they want from us, though? What can we export?
So the truth is, they don't really want anything from us in the same way that, you know, there's not like there's a huge demand. We have to actually tell them about our products, and then they want it. For example, right now, Appleton rum is the #2 rum in the whole of Mexico. They didn't want Appleton rum in the beginning, but when the new owners took it over, they said, this is a good rum. Mexico's a huge market. All we have to do is take the rum over there, and basically it would sell. That's not what really happened, though, because when they brought it over there, they used the same Jamaican ads, same Jamaican stuff, and then everyone was like, what is this? But then they decided, no, let's actually hire a local agency. They put a Mexican guy in it and said, oh, you know, this is a great rum. This is the history of Jamaica. And then everyone said, wow, we love Jamaican rum. Jamaican rum is so popular in Mexico now, bootleg rum coming from Belize actually gets a high price to go inside the market. So for me, similarly, I actually had 20 meetings set up by the government because I got a grant to actually help me export. Majority of those meetings were a failure, went bust, because you know you were learning how to do it each time, how to sell to them. By the time I was at my maybe the 16th meeting, I actually finally understood how to sell to these guys. And then they want demand, because you're explaining what is the difference between what my company can do from Jamaica versus a company locally there. And I said, listen, Jamaica actually has one of the hugest diaspora rates in the world. 30% of our people live overseas. So my expertise is selling to diaspora. You see, Grace Kennedy, one of our largest clients, I run their ads selling to Jamaicans overseas. I know how to do it exactly for people in Peru who want to sell to Peruvians abroad. And I showed them my skill set, and I said, oh my God, nobody here knows this. I said, yeah, because that's what's great about me. And so when I look at businesses, I try to say, think about what actually is differentiated because you're from Jamaica. And then you have to now explain it to them. So for example, Metro Siago, the president of the PSOJ, his business has done KFC here, has done Starbucks here. You know, he manufactures all of those, the chairs and tables inside. He's exported to Panama, he's exported to Costa Rica, he's exported to the DR. He just did KFC over there.
Yeah. You already answered the question, but if someone watching now, how do they know who to approach? What kind of, idea I'm going to give them?
So it depends. So let's say you have a small product. Like I really think like pressure bags are a great product that can go,
right.
But obviously nobody wants pressure bags yet. But if they drop some social media ads to some high-end people over there and say this is a Jamaican bag, it's luxurious, handmade.
Yeah, but how they know that? How they know who to go to? How they know that?
Well, in the conference we're going to actually explain a lot of those things and train them. But there are principles in terms of market entry. So I'll give you an example. Right now, Colombia, Costa Rica, Panama, and DR has a growing middle class. They have a larger middle class than Jamaica does. And those same people do the exact same behaviors on Facebook in terms of what they search or what they Google, who they follow. And so I would have said to them, let's find a luxury influencer. Let's just send them a bag. You know, Copa has cargo flights on a Thursday. It's not expensive. Send them the bag from Jamaica. Or if you're even braver, which I did, buy a plane ticket and go. Yeah. You know, go into the store and say, this is my bag. That's what I actually did. I just took a flight to Peru one time. I said, listen, I'm so serious about this thing. And I took a flight. I paid maybe $1,000 US for me and my chief video editor to go down there using Spirit. Never been to Peru before. I went down there, and then all of a sudden I'm doing all sort of business with the government. Yeah. So it feels hard, but it's not as hard if we just have, go for it.
Yeah, give me all the information on your
conference?
Upcoming conference. Like, where is it?
So what's really amazing is we're actually trying to pull together everything for Jamaica. So I have 6 journalists coming from overseas. I have national presenters on Colombian TV news coming here. They're coming here to actually showcase our products, showcase our story about Jamaica, get to do a little bit of tourism. Our partners like Jamaica Inn, they're going to stay down a weekend, as well as, at the conference, look at all of our stuff.
Is that cost?
The cost is $220 US in person and $50 US now online. Yeah. But
when, where?
September 7th at Spanish Court in...
What time?
10 o'clock.
Speakers?
The speakers, Metro Ciago. We have BCG from Mexico is coming out to talk. We have the head of the advertising agency in Peru coming down here. We have one of the largest logistics company coming out of Latin America, their CEO coming here.
I guess you'll be speaking.
Yes, and also Jeffrey Hall from JP, who JP actually is the largest employer in a town in Dominica. They have 400 employees over there and exporting to Panama, banana chips and all those things.
How can they find it online? Or
type in www.keystoLatam.com or just Google Intelligent, ADTELLIGENT. But what I would say to Jamaica, we really need support. The biggest thing I'm doing is we're writing a book of all the things that you can do to export, all the grants that are available, all the free money, all the trade agreements, and we need help from the government to offer us people to actually interview so we can put together all the disparate information. Because many of the things that we know now, nobody knew before.
All right. You have to go get in the wrap-up signal, as you could see. Good to see you.
Perfect.
Good work and good luck with your conference. He's Kirk Powell. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Intelligent. All right, second edition of News in 5 coming up, and then we continue with our interview. Stay with us, please. Soon come.